everybody, to this week's showing of the 4-inch super late model race here at Lanes Raceway. As you can see, we got a full pack out there. Amani Baxter, Carson Ross, Gold Dust, Randy Kirtley, Guillermo, Bruce, Glenn, and Jay. All of them lined up, getting ready to go racing. We're going to get started here just shortly. Going to talk to the racers, make sure they're ready to go, and we're going to get going green. You guys ready? All right, racers, watch your lights. All right, here we go, folks. Don't forget, guys, 2 community wrecks and 3 strikes. Keep count. So that's the first community strike right there, ladies and gentlemen. Looks like we have several involved in that incident. Dana, the ultimate track marshal, Derms, getting those cars put back on. There on green lane, we have Guillermo Sire. Orange lane, Randy Kirtley. Blue lane, Glenn Burden. Red lane, Carson Ross. And purple, Jay Latham. Only 3 to survive. Amani down low. Back in the mix from last week, keeping his car on yet again. Gold Dust up there on white, and Bruce Bullington on yellow. So already into our second commutative strike there. Dana Durham going to grab the cars yet again. Now we're going to start counting strikes on each one of the racers. You kind of see me down here in the racer seat for our VR racing here. For those interested in that, it's $35 a month starting this February. We're going to have members quest for every member in the iRacing competition. If you are a winner of the competition in iRacing, you get 5 track bucks, and then on top of that, you get your name put in a bucket for the end drawing at the end of the series. Full red lights drop out to a green. We're going back racing. Now counting strikes from the second commutative. Jay Latham out in the lead there on purple lanes. You see him go to make the pass down low on Amani Baxter. Jay Latham's car kind of looking like a Coca-Cola color as we get a car to come off the track there in the upper left-hand portion of the track. Mr. Daniel there helping track marshal Dana Durham get that car put back on the track. And that was Carson Ross's car that came off. Full red lights drop out to green. We're back racing. Now Glenn Burden in the lead there on blue lane as we get another wreck there. All right, full red lights drop out to a green yet again. Here we go. We're already into another yellow flag, so we get another car to come out, get unseated there. And that looks to be the red car, Guillermo Sire there, going to take a strike. Jay Latham back in the lead as we get another car there to slide to the outside. Dana Durham going to grab him and start him over again. Car from the inside there coming up, getting capitalized on. Moving over here to the bigger screen here just to get a little bit better view here. See Dana Durham there getting that car put back on the start finish line there by the victory lane sign. And that is the car of Randy Kirtley, also known as Cotton Candy Randy. Before red lights drop out to a green, Jay Latham, your leader still, as he goes to make a impressive pass there on a Monty Baxter down low. Monty going to try to get in this race, maybe another one, he said. So we'll see if he's going to continue on and try to get in the hard body coming up next. He does have a car set up for that. As we get several to come off yet again. All these wrecks piling up, everybody keeping track of each other's wrecks. 3 and you're out. It's just a moment of time whether or not we're going to see some people start dropping off. A full pack of 8 is a tough race for sure. The track, as I stated before, we're going to spray. I ended up walking out of here last night completely forgetting to spray the track. So as we go back green racing here, a little bit of a view. We got somebody over on orange track messing around there. Paul Woosley getting him a car ready. He's got a nice little smooth one going on here too. So that makes Amani's second wreck there. He's down there on black. That's 2 for you. Yeah. Remember, we get 2 communities and then 3 strikes, fellas. So Jay Latham making a pass there on Amani. A couple people actually in danger of getting set out. 50 seconds halfway through. Jay Latham still your leader, followed by Bruce Bullington, also known as a streak there on yellow lane, as he's trying his best to capitalize on Jay, getting a better lap of him of 1.717. As we get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people coming off there, that's going to be several people coming off. That's going to eliminate a few guys here. So I don't know how many's coming off or how many people are staying on, but a rough race to start, to say the very least. Action Jackson there, hoping Randy comes off a couple more times, or whatever, how many he has left there. So 4 red lights drop out to green. We're going back racing. Like I said, Jay Latham holding it down. Bruce Bullington right there behind him. Bruce actually running a better fastest lap time. His median a little bit lower, playing the safe game here as he comes to make the pass on the inside orange lane of Randy Kirtley, swapping Randy and Gold Dust right there. Gold Dust there up on the upper lanes of white. All 4 of these guys actually racing pretty decently as we see Jay Latham go to make the pass down low on Bruce, trying to get an extra lap. Coming off and coming right back in through Dead Man's Corner, so he barely saved it. Making a risky exchange, Bruce lets off and allows him to go by there in Dead Man's Corner. 4 seconds left to go, and this will be the end of your heat right here. Jay Latham, your leader, 62 total laps as we roll into it. Checking over here at the track, mate. We just got 1 heat here. You can see the cutoff line there, about 37 laps of Guillermo, all the way down through Carson and Glenn and everybody else. Those are the guys that ended up having to set out about half the heat. Nonetheless, you see me over here still hanging out in the racing seat. New Fanatec wheel for the iRacers. Come check it out. $35 a month, $10 a day. Get in our competitions, have a good time. Heading over to the Oval, you can see these guys working pretty hard, getting their stuff swapped up, oiled up, and ready to go. We're going to move over to the High Bank Orange and be back with you in about 1 minute and 40 seconds. folks, we're back. Four-wheel lights drop out to a green, and we're seeing a lot better racing here since we started. So a Monty Baxter car coming off for the first commutative. Four red lights drop out to green, and we also had Guillermo, Jay, and Glenn came off there, as we see Cotton Candy Randy's car there in the high banks coming off. Heading over to the bigger version view of the oval here. Randy going to take a quick look at his car. Possibly bent, something going on there. He's going to get the block out and take a look at it. See him in the upper right-hand portion of your screen. Right now, Jay Latham out in the lead, 74 total laps with a median time of 1.83. Best lap of 1.689. Very competitive here. Only to be matched by Glenn down low also on purple with a 1.690. Hardest thing we're seeing here is people are struggling to keep the back ends of the cars under the control, under the crook of the track there, or the trialable portion of the track, as they swap the back ends back and forth, getting into each other, and getting the back end slid around in dead man's corner also an issue, as they drive her down deep and the back end's not braking hard enough, more or less grease sliding there through the corner into each other's sides, not giving each other enough room. So Randy on white, Gold Dust on red, as they both enter dead man's corner here. Randy going to take the second commutative strikes, now 3 strikes, and you're out for each individual racer. As we get a car there to nosedive there in dead man's corner as it goes to fly there. Taking a look here at Cam 2, we see Dana Durham there, putting the car Jay Latham back on black. Dana there quick with the hooks of life, trying to save any racer left from the infield. As we now have a strike here for this racer. Looks to be possibly Carson Ross, but we got several orange cars on there. It was Carson's car there, and I believe Jay also taking a strike. Seems like a rhythm starting to take place here. Jay Latham, your leader, dive bombing down low on blacks. He wants to make a pass on Amani, and he does so cleanly. Coming up next, though, Guillermo Sires. He gets out of the track a little bit there, giving a little bit of leeway there to Glenn Burden. Glenn Burden, his arch nemesis here today, as both of these cars extremely fast. Glenn Burden's car moving up there, representing the 49 Davenport car on borrow from Randy Kirtley. The car itself is Glenn's, but the body is Randy Kirtley's, as we're working on a Godzilla, Mecha Godzilla monster design for Glenn Burden in the shop right now. Won't be ready till next week, as we see Glenn Burden make a pass on the outside of Jay Latham. What a pass. Down low on blue lane, we got Guillermo Sire is both. As we get Monty and Jay Latham both involved in an incident there. .29 seconds left to go in the heat. I don't think we have any fears of anybody going to come out on this one. We've had a pretty good, successful heat here. Down low, it's been pretty good for Jay Latham. 46 total laps, but the outlier here, Bruce Bullington, turning 48 laps there on orange, just humming. We're going to kind of focus in a little bit on him as we continue on. 4 red lights drop out, and he goes to make a pass on the inside there to the white lane of Randy Kirtley, and does so nice and clean. And he also passes Gold Dust. we're seeing here some impressive best lap times of 1.808. See narrowly Bruce missing that wreck there involving Guillermo Sire and Carson Ross. Randy Kirtley grabbing Guillermo's car as he brings it around front. Dana Durham also grabbing a car from the crook of the track, possibly Glenn Burden's. 17 seconds left to go. Like I said, nobody really in fear of dropping out in this round robin 2 of 8. Coming up next, a alternate for where we were going to head. We're going to run GTP following this race, but we're going to jump right into the hard bodies on the tri-oval to try to help some of the kids get home in a decent hour. As we went green for a few seconds, and then all of a sudden we hit the track button, and looks like Glenn Burton having some issues with his car, maybe. Randy Kirtley going over there to help assist to see what's going on here. 14 seconds left to go in the heat. Jay Latham, your leader, followed by Bruce Bullington. Randy Kirtley in third position. Gold Dust finishing up his high lane there on Red Lane with 94 laps. Guillermo Sire in the middle with 90, suffering about a 40-second set out in the first heat as him, Glenn, Amani, and Carson all ended up having 3 wrecks, pushing them out of the late model series. Coming up next, so the hard body 4.5-inch series here on the oval. They're a little bit more planted, a little bit harder to wreck, and a little bit slower vehicles, a little easier to keep track of. Heading over to the bigger oval here to see kind of a little bit better view of what's happening. Guillermo Sire with a 1.740, currently the best lap time so far. I take that back. Jay Latham with a 1.689, holding it down there on black lane. So Jay, Bruce, Glenn, and Guillermo got some really exceptionally fast cars here currently. 4 red lights drop out to a green. We're going to continue and hopefully finish out this round robin 2 of 8 and everybody make it into the race. As we got a few people not turning laps here currently. Looks like Glenn Burden's out. Somebody else is out too. I can't. Let's see. So Carson and Glenn both out. But we got just a hair of a second left to go in this round robin heat. Looks like Jay Latham just ended right there himself. So he's going to take his car back early as we hit this button for about a 1/10 of a second. And that's it, folks. That's the end of round robin 2 of 8. As we go over here and take a look at the track mate to see our current lap standings and averages. Jay Latham out in the lead with 61.5 on average, running an impressive 63 laps there on purple. Glenn Burden were able to run 55 before he got shut down there in the first heat. 60 laps total on black lane. Monty was able to turn 29 for he got shut down. Pretty comparable there. Now a little bit closer to comparison here, we can see Randy and Gold Dust there, 54 and 50 on white between the two, and 62 and 59 for Bruce Bullington and Randy Kirtley. Your top 2 runners here trying to fight for that first position, hanging on to second and third respectfully. Averaging 61.5 Jay Latham, 60.5 for Bruce, 56.5 for Randy for your top 3. Going to take you guys over to the oval cam, or actually take you over to the orange, as there's several people out there having a good time on orange. And I'll see you guys here in about a minute and 40 seconds. full red lights drop out to green. Let me get the camera set back here for the oval. Minute and 50 seconds left in the heat. We got a good little bit of a bunch up racing here as all the guys are running pretty good and close. Jay Latham still your leader by 3 laps. Next to Bruce Bullington with 133. Randy Kirtley 125 to round up your top 3. Everybody running pretty good and consistent here. Glenn Burden with the best lap time so far, 1.767 down low on black. Guillermo Sire now turning 1.679 on purple as we get our first flag, almost making it a full minute into heat. These guys are getting good at the super late model series here at Lanes Raceway. Don't forget, 2 commutative strikes followed by 3 strikes for each individual, and we're already almost halfway through, so. Like Glenn Burden's got some issues going on right now. Let's see if we get a word with Glenn here. Glenn heading back over to his race station. Second commutative coming off there. 57 seconds left to go in the heat. 4 of them out there. Looks like maybe Randy and... Nope, Randy's there on red lane. Can't see him from the picture. Let's put another yellow flag. That's Carson Ross involving what looks to be Amani Baxter into an incident there. So it'll be a strike for each of them. Or that actually might have been Guillermo's car involved in an incident. And right out of the gate, it looks like there you could see Guillermo jumping the gun just a smidge there, actually catching Carson that time. So equal exchange there. So now Carson out, and we have 6 people: Randy, Bruce, Jackson, Omani, Jay, and Guillermo in the race as Jay hits a wall there and has his car come out as he vigorously slaps that red button. Jay Latham also King of Lanes Raceway for a year. We just got his picture in. I might show it to you guys here at break, but it is huge. If I don't get to show it to you at break, we might show it to you in the next stream coming up, but the thing's as tall as I am, and guys got to look at him for a solid year. So that's going to be quite hilarious for me to be able to see everybody being upset to have to look at Jay wearing the King's crown and draperies with the scepter of being the best racer here. Looks like Glenn Burden's back in the mix here. Got some things going on now. I don't know if it was an issue with the controller or what it was, but having some issues there nonetheless. red lights dropping out to a green, and we're going back racing. Bottom right-hand screen, Cotton Candy Randy there in red. Down on purple, we got Guillermo Sire. We got 23 seconds left to go in the heat. Jay Latham's still your leader by 3 or 4 laps. Bruce Fulton there in second. Randy Kirtley trying to bridge the gap the best he can, but he just can't catch these guys. Guillermo Sire just 10 laps behind Randy, and Gold Dust about 6 laps behind Guillermo. Nice clean racing. So we get a dive bomb right there at the end, down low on black. Glenn Burton was about to pass 3 people. Track got shut off on him and completely shut him down. Heading over to the track, maybe we see Jay Latham in the lead, 186, 182. Bruce Fulton, Randy Kirtley, 170. I'm head over here to the oval cam, see if I can get a word with Glenn Burton. Hey, Glenn, I seen you go in there in the shop. What exactly is going on right now with your car?
Well, some people overdriving the corner and wrecking, knocking everybody out, not hitting the button, and then knocked the motor screws loose, and then lost one of them. It's out there on the track somewhere, and then I had to strip the gear, so I had to go get a crown gear.
So you needed a crown gear and a motor screw?
Yeah.
All right. We were just kind of confused on what was going on out there, so now we know that Glenn Burton had a motor screw come loose and also had a crown gear strip. Quite a bit of wrecking going on out here today. Quite a few people setting out as the track running a little more dry slick. 1 minute and 44 seconds. We'll be right back with you. All right, 3 seconds. We're going back racing. We're going to see those 4 red lights drop out to go green. Randy and Monty having a conversation where their cars are located as we go back green racing. And our first commutative right out of the gate, 4 seconds in. Jay Latham's going to take that opportunity and save himself a strike. Glenn Burton back in the mix. Hopefully he has some better luck. He's got a super fast and competitive car, to say the least. Let's take a look here at Cam 2. You can see him lined up 3 wide with Amani and Carson. Pretty dangerous little pack there. Special thanks to Dana Durham with his high-vis yellow shirts he loves to wear. We got him one specially made here for Lanes Raceway for the Ultimate Track Marshal. Randy's struggling there to hit the track call button there. Everybody having a pretty good time here at Lanes Raceway. You can see me on the old racing wheel here. Don't forget, come on by and do some iRacing for the Members Quest. 4 red lights drop out to a green. In your screen is Gold Dust and Jay Latham. Frenemies, as they call it. Friends when it comes to Fortnite, enemies when it comes to racing. Since we've been open, me and old Jay going to the war zone together. We've added Jackson pretty much to the mix. He's been going to the war zone with us. So for all those that know about us going to the war zone on Sunday nights, old Action Jackson there in his lumberjack shirt, looking straight from a Brawny commercial, representing for the middle pack of the slot car racing. Ooh, Randy Kirtley's car going to fly to the outside and take another one with him. As we see Dana Durham quickly grab those cars, move them to the start-finish line there. So that'll be a strike for Randy and Amani. Right now, best lap time 1.6389 is Guillermo, as he's trying to get that one lap on Randy Kirtley to get in third position. Not a bad comeback from setting out half a heat. A little bit of a comeback story here for Guillermo. Right now, out in the lead, Glenn Burden there on yellow lane as he is hammering it home, folks. Staying like racing hard side by side with Guillermo down on black, which is pretty unprecedented. As really, you should be losing quite a bit more time than that, but he's got that car tuned in, folks. As he makes the pass there on blue, is a nice let off from Gold Dust, allowing him to go on by. Jay Latham narrowly escaping that wreck there, as we see what I believe to be a Monty Baxter's car go to the infield there. We see Ultimate Track Marshal Dana grab the hooks of life, but quickly there we see Mr. Daniel there grab the car, help Amani out. Chad Daniel, folks, I believe he's going to be getting in the hard body class coming up next. He's kind of sitting on the sidelines while I get his input on if he's nervous, how he's feeling before he gets ready to start this race. We're about halfway before we see that take place, though. Carson Ross turning a bad lane there, 1.787 there on purple lane. Pretty good for Carson, as he's been struggling a little bit in this series. As we get Amani's car to go all the way to the high outside there, causing an incident there. Looks like it just involved him, though. It looks like Guillermo was able to keep his car nose in. So Guillermo catching a lucky break there. On the outside high to him on orange lane, we got Jay Latham. Carson and Jackson there hitting each other like boys do, I suppose. Bruce Bullington there getting reseated up on red lane with the white lane car of Amani Baxter there. 14 seconds left to go in the heat. I believe everybody's going to make it all the way through on this one too. So the guys are definitely learning how to drive this mid-grip / dry track here. We got another yellow flag, 7 seconds left to go. So we made it about 7 seconds in there. But I think we're going to be all right. All right, and that ends the heat. Jay Latham increasing his lead to about right at a 5-lap lead in front of Bruce Bullington at 240. Guillermo Sire now in third position with a 58.2 average, narrowly getting Randy on that last one from Randy's couple wrecks. So we'll see if Jay can hang on there and hold it off. 4 more heats left to go here. Heading over to the oval, and we'll be right back with you here in just a moment. Did they? Chad, getting into the next hard body series coming up here in just a few moments. Are you nervous?
They're a little top heavy. It'll be a little different.
So have you already tried them out there on the orange track?
Not on the orange. I've only run on the green.
Just the green track. So you haven't had much experience yet with the top heaviness of the hard body?
No, not at all.
Well, do you think you might be able to bring it home?
Maybe if we're on the green track.
Well, everybody wants to know. I mean, I know you just now started doing this, but how much work have you put into your car over the past week?
Not enough.
All right, we'll see how Chad does here coming up next race for sure in the hard body class. Stay tuned with us. 1 minute and 25 seconds. We'll be back at Green Racing. All right, 5 seconds, so we'll be going back Green Racing. Monty running, try to get to his controller in time. And our first commutative is going to be on Amani. Glenn Burden suffering from a complete motor explosion. Oh, we see what looks to be Amani's car take a huge dive. They slammed the outside wall there, and we see Dana Durham track marshaling, grabbing the car from the inside of the track there. Monty's car taking a pretty hefty hit right there, right direct into the wall. Looks like Jay Latham fixing his braids for him, helping him get flat. So it looks like possibly Glenn, a guy that was running impeccable times earlier this week with his car, it looks like he's trying to get a motor swapped into it, but having some pretty bad luck in the super late model series here so far. Hopefully he can get that thing back in working order, as he definitely has a car to beat for sure. Very, very fast. Down low on black, though, we got Carson Ross. He goes to try to get a bite of his cousin, Action Jackson, up there on purple. Jackson allowing him to go on by. On the outside of Jackson, though, we got Guillermo Sire. I don't know how both of those guys made it through Dead Man's Corner and still stayed on, but they did. Now Guillermo out on the high side of Jackson, and he made a nice clean pass, so pretty good. Carson actually taking a strike there. Cotton Candy Randy in the mix there with his new body, as he gets a nice good coast there on blue. Him and Guillermo both had pretty good coasts. Four red lights drop out to green, and we're going back racing. Down low, what a pass there from Carson as he dive bombs it there on Jackson. And Jackson and Guillermo fighting it out again as Guillermo makes the pass on the high side on yellow. On green lane, though, pretty impressive there. Bruce Bullington really hammered it home as Jay Lathan gets a little bit of a ride there on blue lane of Randy. Jay's going to take a strike there. Jay now on white lane. White, red, and green have issues. They can get enough top speed that the heaviness of the chassis can actually pull them out. And that's why you're seeing Amani, Jay, and Bruce all having some issues there, keeping their cars coming in instead of slamming into the high banks down here towards the bottom of your screen. That's 2 strikes for Jay Latham, and I believe, if I'm not mistaken, 2 strikes for Amani. So these guys really got to be cautious going through the crook of the track from here on out. That's either 2 or 3 strikes for Carson. I can't rightly remember. I'm sure he's keeping track. "35 seconds left to go in the heat." That's quite a bit of time to not wreck for an individual. So hopefully Amani, Jay, and Bruce don't have any issues there. And I know Carson's hoping he doesn't down there on black. Of course, Carson having the worst luck when it comes to keeping the car in. We can see his back end kind of slipping out there, coming out of the backside of the portion of the track. So we see Jay Latham and Amani wrecking there. That is it for Amani, I believe. And Jay, I think that might be his third too, if I'm not mistaken. I can't really recall. 14 seconds left to go. Well, maybe I miscounted. I don't know. I let the racers dictate their own 3 strikes. But really, we're not pressed for time here. It's right now 4:27. The rule was implemented just to keep the races moving. I think these guys are racing to a caliper right now that is not really affecting whether or not they pull it off in 3 strikes. But I'm definitely not going to tell them that, as they do race better whenever there's something on the line there. As we see Guillermo's car getting moved back to the front. Guillermo now taking over second position from Jay Latham. Bruce Bullington now in the lead with 300 laps. So Guillermo coming back from a 40-second set out, man, all the way back up to second place. It's quite impressive, to say the least. And that's a red flag rotation, and that is round robin 5 of 8 down. So take a look here at the track mate. We see Bruce Bullington, 303 laps with a 60.6 average, 60.2 average for Guillermo Sire with 301 total laps. And Jay Latham, 298, 59.6. Going to leave you here with a view of the orange track and watching some kiddos and stuff try to practice up their hard bodies and other cars, getting ready for the series races as we progress here during the day. And we'll be back with you in about 2 minutes. Sorry about that, folks. I got stuck with a customer there for a second. He had a couple questions about controllers. Speaking of controllers, got the Falco controllers here at Lanes Raceway. Neil 17 204s, 281s, 281 Pros, and the whole nine. A lot of questions here lately. Let's go ahead and check the chat. We got KPKP says big ups from Vancouver, Canada. Thank you, KPKP. KPKP. LOL, Brawny. Yeah, that is Action Jackson, also known as Gold Dust. He likes to consider himself the Prince of Lanes Raceway. Tony Gaddis, go Bruce. Bruce the Streak. As you can see, Bruce the Streak has been doing quite well today. Number one position here on Blue Lane right now as we head over to the big portion of the track on Blue. We can see him taking the inside on Guillermo Sire, the current second place position. Bruce is giving it everything he's got. 1.707, a median of 1.79 as Guillermo's median increases to 1.91. Round robin 6 of 8. You see Carson almost going along with the music, folks. He cannot hear the music that you hear, so he might have a sixth sense here. When Carson goes into dangerous mode, which, it looks like he's maybe going in there right now, we end up giving him the nickname Carlson. But he's got several nicknames too there, and the black shirt there, tapping his chest. Carlson, Carcinogen, Carson. All of our young kids, they got several nicknames. We see old Cotton Candy Randy right there. Putting his car on Purple Lane. That's a new one for him. Four red lights dropping out to a green. Heading back over here to the main menu where you see the chat. Don't forget, guys, chat is live on YouTube, and I believe it could be live on Twitch. I set it up, but I don't know whether or not it's hit or miss with this software. iRacing, also, you see an upper right-hand portion of your screen. Don't forget, you see me down here. Let me see if I can pull this thing off and show you guys. It's pretty tough. I might have to shut myself in here first. I got enough muscle in my tussle. But you can kind of see here. Got the Forza Motorsport Xbox wheel here, along with a Fanatec Q2 quick disconnect. So if you have a Q2 wheel at home and you want to bring your own wheel, you can surely do that. Come join in on the $35 a month unlimited. Right now, starting in February, our members quest is iRacing. Win a hosted race, you get 5 track dollars. Be a weekly winner in our competition, you get 5 track dollars. Fastest time of the week on Eldora late model will be 5 track dollars. Fastest time on Daytona Oval, 5 track dollars. Fastest month on the Chili Bow midgets, you get 15 track dollars, and win an introductory race on Forza for 5 track dollars. So this stuff for the members only. So you definitely want to be a member if you come here, whether you want to be a member for the slot car racing. All kids under the age of 18, membership is $75 a month. That's unlimited track time, unlimited race series. That's why we can run these series that we're running, these 3 and outs. It's because we host a whole lot more races per race day in a day. And we can do 3 and out, and it doesn't really upset people that bad when they know they got another race coming up just right after that one. And we can experiment and do different things. Since I've been open, I've been wanting to do like a cops and robber type get up, where that we have half of the pack is cops and half of the other pack is robbers or racers. And hey, Andy, what's going on, man? And we just see exactly how many people can make it to the end of a 10-minute race without wrecking like 3 or 4 times on the orange track. A little bit of hot pursuit or something for slot car racing. But try to keep it lively for the kids and maybe post their face up on one of our screens for a month as, I don't know, FBI's most wanted or something. 24 seconds left to go in the heat, and Bruce Bulletin holding off Guillermo Sire as he is doing a great job. Best lap 107.03 as we see him do dive bomb Guillermo Sire down low right there, hitting it hard in the orange crush mobile for the streak machine that is Bruce Bullington. Bruce Bullington hammering it home and gliding as he makes another pass on the outside of Carson Ross. Passing him almost like he's setting still and with the poise to be able to break quick enough to miss that wreck in Dead Man's Corner. We see your current leader there in the turn 2 portion of the track, right under the victory lane. Got about a tenth or so of a second left to go in this heat, and we're going to be going to the track mate to do a little bit of comparison to see where the laps are on average. And that's it. Made it about to the crook of the track, Bruce did. 368 total laps right now for Bruce Bullington, 61.3 on average, 61.2 on average for Guillermo Sire, and 59.5 average for Randy Curley. We got 2 heats left. Randy's going to be able to increase his average as he's going down low. Guillermo Sire is going to start dropping a little bit as he has the upper lanes here. We're going to see Bruce Bullington really hammer it home. I think Bruce the Streak Bullington back in the mix. Come in last week running the wing car. He says, this might be my new baby right here, talking about the wing car in the Group 20 class. So we'll see. Bruce might be back in the mix here, running for the front spot, giving Jay a little bit of run up for his money maybe next season. Might be his big mug posted up on the wall. I'll take you guys over to the oval, and you can watch these guys work on their cars, and I'll be right back with you here in about 2 minutes. All right, everybody, we got 40 seconds left to go, but I just wanted to show you how big this thing is. This is Jay, your king of Lanes Raceway. I don't know if you can see this, but there he is with his draperies, his big king's crown. We're going to get that posted up here at Lanes Raceway on Monday. We also got a picture of the other crown winners, the lords of Lanes Raceway, I guess you would say, and also we have a picture of all of them standing together with me and the ultimate track marshal, Dana Derm, there with the high-vis yellow shirt. So it'll be pretty cool. All the people are going to have to look at old Jay Latham for a solid year. It's going to be exciting. 4 red lights drop out to green. Here we go, back racing. 8 live now. Glenn Burton back in the mix. He brings that speed machine back in the mix on red lane. And we can see there that Glenn Burton does has a fast one as he gets a little bit of a steel bullhorn there by Guillermo Sire coming out of Dead Man's Corner. He gets shunted. Of course, Glenn having some trouble here all race day. We'll see if he can keep her alive just for a little bit. Good to see him back in the mix and not give up. Getting a new motor put in there. Burn a motor today. Lost a motor screw. Having several issues. But he's still holding on strong. That's the heart of a racer for sure. As we see Carson take up the second commutative. And his car down on the crook of the track. So we see Bruce Bullington out there with a substantial lead. Big congratulations to Bruce so far. As he was pretty impressive, taking home, I believe, second place last week. First or second place in the wing car. And Group 20 is no joke, folks. So to see Bruce here running in top lanes, Bruce, a man of few words, but a great guy to be around. I'll tell you what, folks, when it comes to slot car racing, he is very precise. Him and Jay Latham both. I don't know if you guys have seen on our YouTube made a post earlier this week showing the progression of Jay Latham's custom slot car boxes. And I think he's taking orders. I don't know how many he's going to take. It's kind of a custom type thing. He just got done doing the brass inlays, and they got little Indy cars pointing in, and it says Latham's custom boxes. So, nonetheless, I'll tell you what, man, Jay Latham can make a slot car box like you wouldn't believe. And they're not heavy either, but he uses really good premium parts, leather straps, brass buckles. I mean, the whole nine. It's very fancy, folks. On order, we can order from Eagle and get boxes to the racer in about a month and a half usually. Is what it takes. We get a wide open hit there. That was Jackson slamming into Carson and what looks to be Glenn Burden. Glenn Burden, man, he can't dodge one today. He is just getting in every wreck, it seems. He's the victim of circumstance, and sometimes this happens, you know. Everybody's been there. It's just, no matter what you do, it seems like everything comes against you. And that today is awarded to Glenn Burden for sure, because if you look at Glenn Burden's times here, especially early on, he was running in the 1.6s at one point. And you can look over here in the best laps right now, and the only person running the 1.6 is Bruce right now. So that just goes to show you that Glenn Burden had a car that today that he brought and he's been working on all week that was ready to win. But sometimes when you're racing, you just cannot get out of the chaos theory, I suppose. And it seems like no matter what you do, however you try, no matter what, you're always caught up in the chaos. So maybe that'll get better for Glenn in the next hard body race coming up next. So we get a car fly completely off the track, and one of them down low. That one down low is Glenn Burden's. Like I said, just came by a bucket today. The red car that I think flew off was Guillermo Sires. I believe that's 2 wrecks, if I'm not mistaken, for Guillermo. If I'm wrong, let me know. I'm not really keeping a real good count as I'm trying to focus in on the race, not so much the individual racers count. But if you guys got a different count, please let me know in the chat on YouTube for sure, as I know we are live on YouTube. All right, I've been disconnected from session, folks. Give me 1 second. Let me get that fired back up. All right. Looks like we're a little off skew here. I'm doing all this from one screen out here with the guys. It's a lot easier. It's where most of my peripherals are. Usually I do it in there in the shop, but I have issues with the mouse in there. So we see Glenn Burden here possibly having an issue with the vent car here as he goes to unplug his car for the super late model here. I think he's just saying, you know what, not going to damage my car the rest of the way. Seen Gabriel Kirtley do that several times. You'll notice Gabriel Kirtley, when he comes to race, he pulls his car at the moment he knows he can't win it if he's trying to run for the championship. So just to keep his car from getting busted up. Because when it boils down to it, folks, is points. And all the points are commutative. So if you can't run half of your races as wins, you know, it's best just to pull it off because you need those wins to be able to win. So somebody I think done an exceptional. So we got a stalled car, Bamani there on blue, but somebody I think done an exceptional job of this was actually the Prince of Lanes Raceway, also known as the Brawny Man tonight, Jackson Darty, running 15 perfect races previous season in the GRC race championship for the 4 Crowns. Now, GRC wasn't a part of the 4 Crowns. It was pretty much our beginner class, but we just didn't call it that. He still got a crown, but it was like a cloth crown versus a hard crown that the 4 Crown winners got. But he's in the picture, and that's all that matters. And these guys won't be able to compete for that until next fall. So all this stuff's in preparation. We will pull one of these races from the Sunday series for the Four Crowns, as we have a total of 4 series year-round, and we pull a race from one of those each time that we do a series, and that's what made up the Four Crowns. So we will see what we're going to pull from this one. I'm thinking personally the hard body needs to be pulled for the Four Crown next year, but hey, your votes matter too. What do you want to see in the Four Crowns out of this series that we're running right now? So we have Group 20 wing car, Group 12 GTP, hard body 4.5 inch, and we have 4-inch super late model. So 4 red lights drop it out to a green. So you see we're doing something a little bit different, like some winter sports or something like that today for Epidemic Sound. Something just to keep the sound from Lane's Raceway, the copyrighted music, coming up into the speaker and getting me a strike and cutting all my sound in certain areas. We do this, it lets us have that sound and let you guys be able to hear the cars also. Randy Kirtley now taking over second position as he pushes Guillermo Sire down into third position. Jay Latham in fourth position. Jay Latham actually working on his car right now to the left of me. Bruce Bulletin down low as he makes a nice clean pass there on yellow of Gold Dust. And he makes a pass on the outside of Randy Kirtley. Randy Kirtley, cotton candy, letting him go by there. We get a little bit of a slip up there from Gold Dust coming out of Dead Man's Corner. But a nice pass yet again from Bruce Bulletin. We see a stalled car of Guillermo Sire on white. He grabs his car, yellow flag, and the heat is over. Heading over to the track mate, we can see Bruce Bulletin there, 441. He's out in a league of his own here, folks. Followed by Randy Kirtley with 425. 405 of Guillermo Sire made it his presence known all the way to first place since he got into the white lane, losing several laps in white lane, dropping back down to third. There could be still hope. It just depends on whether or not Bruce or Randy drops out of the race, but we'll have to wait and see if Guillermo can make that push back. Jay Latham there, 393. He's right there on the precipice too, and so is Gold Dust. Even Carson can do it if everybody in front of them ends up wrecking out. So it's still pretty much anybody's ball game. Stay tuned for sure. So we head over here to the oval and let you guys watch them work. We'll be back with you in about 1 minute and 45 seconds. Bruce, are we using voodoo today?
No voodoo. It's too hard on my pocket.
Well, that baby is screaming. You, Glenn, and Guillermo, and Jay, all 4 of you guys had a car here to race to win today. Are you dodging wrecks today, or are you just that much better than the other 3?
Well, I'm not that much better, but I have been dodging a lot of wrecks. I've been looking ahead, driving ahead instead of watching my car. Sometimes I get in trouble. I come off a couple times doing that.
Well, I got to know, Bruce, is the streak back?
Hey, he's trying real hard.
All right, Bruce. 54 seconds, folks, and we'll be back green racing.
Race starts in 40 seconds. Yellow flag. Race starts in 20 seconds.
folks back in it. Gonna go get water, but I am back. Cotton Candy ran the other night, so he's the second place guy right now. Get over here, cam 1 and 2, take a little bit better view. Starting out there, we have chicken up both our views. We're going down to Bruce Strikes and you're out now. Bruce Willington out in the lead. The street is back, folks. I feel it. I'm
Yellow flag.
see several different angles here. Some of the advertisements and stuff on those advertisements are for WIT Management Cup. That's what this series is. They talk about the one series. But we just kind of decluttered it a little bit. It's causing
Yellow flag.
quite a bit of damage. Hopefully next go back to the races going live. That's like 3.5, 8 to 7. Maybe it's coming. It was about this time last year that Bruce was the dominant force in the Raceway on forward. Everybody had weight, strength, their chassis. He felt it was like in water. I'll tell you what, he made it the best motor track PRC I've ever seen. You can almost make anything wide open. We can see some of that technology you couldn't afford.
Yellow flag.
Carson's having issues with his car to even leave. He might have his controller hooked up on it or something. Too much. Maybe it's a big
Get ready.
really tells me he's got hooked up on or what. A full red line stop on the green.
Yellow flag.
His car. That's finally
Yellow flag.
Have a lot of wrecks here today, a lot of hard hits. All these racers have made it through. Looks like Guillermo already banged his head on the wall. Then his buddy Jackson, also known as the Bronze Man, had nothing to do with it. Everybody gets himself hooked up. You can't make Lindbergh quit. He's a racer through and through. Get it fixed, get it back out there, make sure everything's good. Way we're ready for next Sunday.
Yellow flag. Yellow flag.
And we handed Myers back to first. After all the turmoil stuff that his car's been through today, after having this thing built and laid out here at Lanes Raceway, nice smooth transitions in the rear where the tires are. I'm talking that thing was smooth in the back end whenever he started that race. Taking some of the hits and stuff like that, knocking the motor out of contention, actually smoking the motor, which is rare to say the very least.
Yellow flag.
Stock motors, I don't know if you guys run where you're at, what stock track you guys are from, but stock motors in mid-America, they hold up quite well for some period of time. The only issue you have is the engine walks off, so after about 4 or 5 races, they tend to lose the power they start with. But they're still a whole lot better than wrapped up farm motors.
Yellow flag.
Glenn got his motor put back on, got a motor screw put back on. He's just, there needs to be something said about the integrity of Glenn here. It's not giving up. It's fighting to the leading end of it all, holding it down. That's the type of racing we like to see here at Lanes Raceway. The racers never give up and always be calm and other racing.
Yellow flag. Yellow flag.
influencing
Get ready.
Noah's car out a little bit. 4 red lights are on, 2 green. Coming up next, the hard body series here at Raceway Oval.
Yellow flag.
Cars ready to go. Probably going to end up getting probably before I get around 6, because everyone will always put in. It'd be around 5:30, 6 o'clock, because that's quite a bit of work to have to do. But that keeps it fair, keeps everybody locked in and ready. The other series should go pretty streamlined afterwards. So most likely guys are going to take a break and get something to eat after this race. But definitely ring your bell or whatever you got to do for the upcoming series race next week. Over yet again.
Yellow flag.
Now next week the hard body will be on orange track, while 3 on the orange track, and only 1 on the open track. And so it seems like all the ran on the open track. We're halfway through. Final heat here. Bruce Wilson said walking away with it. Exceptionally good car. 1.587 is the best lap running median is 1.72. He is 2 tenths.
Yellow flag.
And that's 2 tenths on the track
One minute left. Halfway through the heat.
Holding down on black lanes, running through the 45 second over.
Yellow flag.
He's running pretty nice, best lap apart.
Get ready.
See, I'm telling you, that's how fast that car is. Running 1.875 up high. Keep your eyes open for the emergency car here on the road. I get Bruce a little competition. Bruce going to the right. He's got that baby hook, line, and sinker all in the L. Everybody's going to Bruce going to go to the leader second. This could be Randy Kirby.
Yellow flag.
Bonnie man himself coming out and riding the line. Everybody's trying to get in Lynn's lane. It doesn't matter what Lynn's saying. He's got a crosshair on for some reason.
Get ready.
Where Jay had to set out there, he had to give up third position just barely. Sometimes you don't happen that way, folks. There's plenty of love and skill. It's a matter of how can you adjust your eyes. Bruce Bullington, folks, is going to bring home the victory here tonight on the Super Late Model Lawn Care Series. Bruce Bullington with 508 total laps, 63.5 on average. He was behind the rest of the game. 489 total laps. Randy Kirby, 61.1 in second position. Guillermo Sire, 58.2. T, can you get Bruce, Dad, and Guillermo pictures? Thank you.
Bruce, Dad,
Alright, we're going to have a small Continental can too here. Let's get some of these racers in can. Open.
Yellow flag.
All right, Guillermo having a little bit of rough luck there. Made it all the way to first, dropped all the way back down to fifth, and then you ended up in third position. What exactly was going on out there?
Well, most of the crashing wasn't my fault. So in the first heat, I got out after 3 crashes, and none of them were my fault. I just crashed into somebody. And then, I don't know, my car got a little bent in the middle, so it took me a couple of hits to get it straight again. And, well, finally,
Just the rough old race out there.
yeah, but really rough today.
Well, Guillermo, Bruce Bullington, I mean, he had a screaming machine out there today. I know you and Jay and Glenn and I believe Randy had a car to compete, but, you know, with all the wrecks and stuff that was out there today, it was a brutal bloodbath. Of course, it's starting to show that red, white, and green, you can't run wide open in the crook of the track. Would you agree?
Yes. So
You can almost get that top speed up so much that it pulls them out.
No, you cannot, because then you come out here or right there. So, yeah, you have to just squeeze it all the way until you get through that, at least my car.
Well, congratulations on third place. We'll get your points entered in, Guillermo. Get ready for the hard body coming up next.
That will be fun.
All right. I'm going to talk to the man of the hour, Bruce, the Street Bullington. Bruce, it looks like you already got the old Maxwell house out ready to go. Are we going to see something similar here in the hard body series, another Dubsky for the Street Master himself?
Well, it's all where people catch you and you catch the people and staying on the track.
Staying on the track is definitely key. Now, I got to ask you, on red, white, and green, did you blip in the crook or did you try to run it wide open?
I run it wide open one time, come out, then I'm blipping.
Yeah, I think that is, at least in the 4-inch series, something that everybody has to do. They can get to that speed to where they come out, and I think you chose wisely when it comes to the strategy that you chose tonight to be able to dodge people. I've seen you a few times, you and Glenn both, able to make the break. Glenn had a target on his back all night long. He couldn't buy a bucket. It's a little funny, but at the same time kind of sad, especially if you're the racer that has to do the dodging. But I'll tell you what, Bruce, man, you ran an impeccable race. That car was tuned up and hooking up, and I think we're going to see some streaks coming out of that.
Well, that's what you do on rainy days, cold days. You stay in the house, you tune on your car.
Oh, yeah. Well, I'll see you in the hard body. I think we'll probably take a small intermission here for anybody that wants to get food and stuff like that, because I got to get these motors sorted in, folks. Nonetheless, thank you guys for tuning in to this week's showing of the Super Late Model Series here at Lanes Raceway, sponsored by Ohio Valley Lawn Care. Coming up next, we got the hard bodies. Already got a couple cars out here ready to do a little bit of practicing before we get their motors and stuff sorted in. All that the guys are doing, they're bringing in a hard body, they're bringing in a chassis with the wires on the guide flag. I sorted the motors in, I'll bolt them in. But they get to choose from red lane down. My wife's going to get them put in the system here real quick, and we're going to get that underway. Like I said, that usually takes me about 30 minutes or so to get done. By the time that's done, so we're going to go ahead and do an intermission here, allow them to get them something to eat if they haven't ate yet while I'm doing that, and then we'll be back racing. So ring your bell for YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. If you're interested in watching the hard body, it's always a pretty good, interesting thing to watch. The guys are really close racing. A lot more trigger control required in it, but the cars are a lot slower. We've got a few newcomers coming in, a couple of the Daniels boys coming in. So definitely check it out. It's going to be an interesting race. We'll see you then. God bless you, and thank you for watching.